How did one just acting video end with a process server walking up to me in a bright office tower lobby while other parents watched? Why did my husband stay calm for weeks, then hit me with a legal result that started the same day? What did he collect that made my whole "he's controlling" story collapse in public? My name is Eustacia Pryor, but almost everyone called me Stacy. I was 34 then. I ran the front desk at a dental clinic. It was a normal job, but I liked control. I liked the feeling that people needed me. I liked being the one who knew the schedule, the money, and the stories. My husband, Caleb Pryor, was 36. He worked in IT security. He was careful with everything. He checked locks twice. He kept passwords in his head like they were gold. People called him calm. I called him cold. We had 2 kids, Miles, who was 7, and Ava, who was 4. They were sweet, and they loved routine. Caleb was good at routine. I was good at making things look fine, even when they were not. That week, I felt bored in a way I did not want to admit. I told myself I had earned more than boring. I told myself I was still young. I told myself I had lost myself in diapers and bills and homework folders. I said I needed something for me. In my mind, that sounded fair. It started in our kitchen on a Monday. Caleb stood by the counter and made oatmeal for the kids. His mug sat near the sink, clean and plain. Mine had lipstick marks from the day before. I liked those marks. They made me feel alive. Caleb looked at my phone when it lit up. He did not grab it. He just looked. He asked why my calendar had a late reminder called Meeting Personal. I said it was a clinic thing. I said I had to meet a vendor after hours. I watched his face. He did not fight. He nodded once, like he filed the answer away. That annoyed me more than a fight would have. Miles came in with his backpack and asked if I would be at pickup. I said yes. Ava tugged my sleeve and asked if I would read to her later. I said yes again. Caleb watched me promise things. I felt like he was judging me. He was not yelling, but I felt judged anyway, so I attacked first in my mind. I told myself he always acted like the good parent. At work, I slipped into my role fast. The front desk felt like my stage. Patients came in nervous. I calmed them. Assistants needed me. Doctors asked me where they should be. I liked being the center without saying it out loud. That morning, my phone buzzed under the counter. It was Noah Klein. He was an actor friend I knew from a community arts night months ago. He was 35, charming, and always building something. He posted clips online. He talked about art like it was a rescue boat. He had a way of making plain life sound small. He asked if I still wanted to try acting. He said he had a short project and a role that fit me. He said it would be quick, but it needed bravery. He wrote that word like it was a gift. I felt my chest lift. Nobody called me brave at home. At home, I was just the one who forgot laundry and paid bills late. I told Noah I was busy and I was not sure. He replied that busy people needed dreams more, not less. He asked when I could talk. I said I would call later. At lunch, my best friend Tessa O'Rourke came by the clinic. She worked at a salon down the road and always smelled like clean shampoo. She sat in my break area and ate fries out of a paper bag. She asked why I looked tense. I said Caleb was in a mood again. Tessa asked what he did now. I said he kept questioning me like I was a kid. I said he acted like my father. I made my voice sound tired and trapped. Tessa said that sounded controlling. She said men love to clip women's wings. I nodded fast. It felt good to hear the word controlling applied to him, not to me. I did not say that out loud. Later, I called my sister Bree Navarro from the parking lot. Bree was 31 and always online. She asked what was new. I told her an actor friend wanted me for a project. She got excited and said I should do it. She asked if Caleb would let me. I hated that word, let. Still, I used it too. I said Caleb would probably act weird about it. Bree said he always acted weird. That night at home, Caleb asked about my day. I said it was long. He asked why I looked distracted. I said work stress. He asked if anything else was going on. I said no. I said he was fishing again. I made it sound like he had a habit, like he was the problem. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. He asked who Noah was. I paused a half-second too long. I said Noah was just a friend from an arts group. Caleb asked why Noah was texting so much. I said he was networking and I was helping. I said Caleb did not understand creative work. Caleb said he understood boundaries. I rolled my eyes so the kids could see. That was not an accident. Miles looked up from the floor and asked why Dad was being strict. I felt a small win. I said Dad worried too much. Caleb did not correct me in front of them. He just cleaned up the dinner plates and stacked them neatly. After the kids went to bed, I followed Caleb into the hallway by the stairs. He asked if I could stop hiding my phone screen when he walked in. I said I was not hiding it. I said he imagined things. I said he must be stressed and he should see someone about anxiety. The words came out smooth, like I practiced them. I watched his face tighten and then go flat again. He asked if I would meet Noah. He said he wanted to shake his hand and know who he was. I said that was embarrassing. I said it would make me look like I needed permission. Caleb said he did not say permission. He said respect. I said respect was earned. I said I worked hard and I deserved trust. In my head, I added that trust was something people owed me if I smiled enough. A little later, I passed Caleb's home office door. It was half open. He was sitting at his desk with a plain folder in front of him. I saw labels that said utilities and bank. He wrote slowly with a black pen. He did not look like a man plotting anything. He looked like a man making lists because he did not know what else to do. I told myself he was being dramatic. I told myself he wanted to scare me with adult paperwork. I also told myself I did not care. But I felt a pinch in my stomach anyway. When I went back to the bedroom, my phone lit up again. Noah wrote that the role needed a quick screen test and a private rehearsal. He added a little flame emoji like it was funny. I stared at it. I thought about Caleb's flat face. I thought about Tessa calling him controlling. I thought about Bree saying I should live. Caleb walked into the room right then. I flipped my phone over fast. He asked who it was. I said it was the clinic group chat. He asked why I sounded sharp. I said he pushed me there. I said he always made me feel guilty for having a life. He did not answer. He just set his phone down on the dresser, face down too, like he learned my move. Then he turned off the light and lay on his side, leaving a small space between us. In the dark, I told myself I was still the good one. I told myself a good wife did not have to feel trapped. I told myself Caleb's quiet questions were a kind of attack, and if he attacked first, then anything I did after was just defense. The next day, I kept my phone on silent at the clinic. I told myself it was because patients hated noise. That was half true. The other half was that I wanted the buzzing to belong to me alone. Noah kept sending messages in the gaps between appointments. He asked when I could meet. He said he had a small studio rented for one afternoon. He said it was professional and simple. He said it would help my confidence. I liked how he used that word, like he was giving me medicine. Around noon, I stepped outside by the loading door and called him. He asked if my husband supported my goals. I said Caleb was fine, but he worried too much. I made Caleb sound like a parent, not a partner. Noah said some men feared women who grew. I agreed too fast. He asked if I could do a screen test at a coffee shop near the studio. I said I could, as long as it stayed quiet. He said it would be private. He also asked me to wear something that looked camera-friendly. I said okay, even though my stomach flipped. I did not tell Caleb about the coffee shop. That night, he asked why I was smiling at my phone. I said a patient left a nice review. He asked why my calendar showed a new pin on the map. I said it was a software update. He asked why I was acting defensive. I said he always looked for trouble. Then I turned it around and asked why he did not trust me. He said trust needed honesty. I said honesty did not mean asking permission. On Thursday, I said I had to cover an extra shift and do ordering after hours. Caleb offered to pick up the kids. I said no, I could handle it. I did not want him near the clinic, near the truth. On the drive, I practiced my face in the rearview mirror. I told myself I was still a good wife because I was not doing anything real. In my mind, acting did not count. My feelings mattered more than facts. The coffee shop was bright and smelled like milk foam. Noah sat near the back with a laptop and a tiny ring light. He stood up when he saw me and acted like we were old friends. He asked if I felt nervous. I said it was just silly excitement. He asked if Caleb knew. I said Caleb would not understand, and I did not want to fight. Noah said that was wise. He asked if I wanted to be seen as more than a wife and a mum. I said yes. He told me the project was a short scene for a small film page. He said it was spicy, but not explicit, and it was about suggestion, not anything graphic. He said the camera loved brave faces. I ate that up. He showed me a short script on his screen. It had flirty lines and close blocking, but it did not describe anything graphic. Still, I knew what it was for. I knew it would look like more than acting if the wrong person saw it. Noah asked if I could handle people judging me. I said I did not care what people thought. That was a lie. I cared more than I wanted to admit. He asked if I trusted him. I said yes, and I meant it in the moment. After coffee, he walked me 2 blocks to a rented loft. It was an old building with a clean hallway and a keypad door. Inside, there were 2 folding chairs, a couch, and soft lights pointed at a blank wall. It looked both cheap and serious at the same time. A woman I did not know adjusted a camera and nodded at me. Noah said she was helping with production. He said everything was normal. He said this was how it worked. The woman handed me a phone and asked me to sign a release. I scrolled fast. I saw words like distribution and promotional use. I did not stop. I told myself people signed things every day. I told myself Caleb would be the type to read every line and ruin the mood. I signed with my finger and handed it back like it was nothing. Noah asked if I was okay. I said I was fine, and I laughed to prove it. We did a few takes. Noah told me where to stand and where to look. He asked me to lean closer at certain moments, because the scene needed tension. I did it. I kept telling myself it was only work. The camera was there, so my body felt like it belonged to the job, not to me. That made it easier. I also liked how Noah watched me, like I was important. When the woman said the lighting was good, I felt proud in a way I had not felt in years. During a break, my phone rang. It was Caleb. My heart jumped, but I did not answer. Noah asked who it was. I said it was the clinic. He told me to call back later and stay focused. When I finally called Caleb from the stairwell, he asked where I was. I said I was in the supply room at work. He asked why it sounded echoey. I said the clinic was cleaning and the halls were empty. He asked if I was coming home soon. I said yes, after I finished ordering. He said he would keep dinner warm. I said thanks, like a normal wife. When filming ended, Noah said he would send a private link for review. He said it was not public. He said only the team would see it. I nodded, but I asked him to send it to me too. He asked why. I said I wanted to learn and improve. The truth was simpler. I wanted proof that I still had power. I wanted something that felt like a secret trophy. At home, Caleb did not yell. He asked why my hair smelled different. I said the clinic used a new disinfectant. He asked why my eyes looked tired. I said work was rough. He watched me for a long time. Then he looked away. Later, I walked past his office again and saw his laptop open for a second. A plain spreadsheet filled the screen with neat columns. He closed it when he noticed me. I told myself he was tracking my mistakes to control me. I did not consider the other option, because that option made me the villain. By Saturday, Noah sent the private link. He wrote that it was clean and hot, and that I looked natural on camera. I told myself that meant I had value outside my house. I watched the clip alone in my car before work. I did not see it as betrayal. I saw it as proof that I was still chosen. I forwarded the link to myself on another app, just in case. I said it was for practice. I said it was for confidence. I did not say the real reason, which was that secrets feel like power when you feel small. At the clinic, I kept my phone tucked under the counter. Patients came and went. I smiled and said the same polite lines. But inside, I was waiting for Noah's next message like it was a reward. Tessa came by again late afternoon. She asked if I did it. I said I did, and I tried to sound casual. She asked if it was spicy. I said it was acting, not a big deal. Tessa said that was exactly the point, and she laughed. She said men love to act shocked so they could control women. I agreed, because it made me feel righteous. That night, Caleb asked if I wanted to go out with friends. He said we could get dinner as a family, or I could go alone if I needed time. His voice was even. That calm made me angry. I told myself he was pretending to be nice so he could later say I was ungrateful. I said I had plans already. He asked with who. I said with Tessa and Bree. He asked where. I said a rooftop bar downtown. He asked what time I would be home. I said I did not know, because I was not a child with a curfew. He did not argue. He said okay, and asked if I could text when I left. I said sure, but my tone meant no. He nodded once, like he saved that too. The rooftop bar was loud and bright. Strings of lights hung above us, and everyone looked shiny, like they had money and no worries. Bree took pictures as soon as we sat down. Tessa leaned close and asked if I had the video. I said it was private. She asked why I was acting scared. I said I was not scared, just careful. Tessa said careful was how men trained women. Noah showed up late and acted like it was normal. He hugged me a little too long. I let it happen because people were watching. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself I deserved to feel wanted in public. Bree whispered that Noah was cute. I smiled like it was a joke, but I felt proud. Someone in our group asked what my husband thought about the project. I rolled my eyes and said Caleb was being weird. I said he did not get acting. I said he acted like everything was a threat. Tessa added that Caleb always seemed insecure. Bree laughed and said he was lucky to have me. I did not stop them. I let it grow because it made me feel powerful. Noah asked if I wanted to do more scenes. I said maybe. He said my face did well on camera, and he could build a bigger role around me. He said some women wasted their lives being nice. I said I was tired of being nice. I meant it. On the balcony, the wind was cold, and the city looked like a promise. People around us held phones up for selfies. Tessa asked if she could post a behind-the-scenes clip Noah had on his phone. Noah said it would be funny and it would get attention. I said it should stay private. Then I saw Tessa's raised eyebrows, like she was judging my fear. I did not want to look weak. I said she could post something small, nothing clear. Tessa posted anyway. It was not the full scene, but it showed me and Noah standing close under the studio lights. It showed the mood. She tagged me. Within minutes, comments came in. Some were cheering. Some were laughing. Some were rude in a way that made my skin crawl. I told myself it was just the internet. I told myself I could handle it. When I checked my phone, I saw a missed call from Caleb. I did not answer. Bree asked if it was him. I said yes, and I made a face like he was annoying. Bree said I should ignore him and enjoy my life. Tessa said he would calm down when he realized I was not asking for permission. I nodded like that made sense. On the drive home, I finally called Caleb. He asked if I was okay. I said yes. He asked if I had been drinking. I said no, even though I had 2 cocktails. He asked why he saw a tag with my name and Noah's name. I said it was nothing, just friends having fun. He asked why Noah was there. I said it was networking. He asked why it looked intimate. I said he was projecting. I said he always saw problems because he wanted to be the victim. When I got home, the house was quiet. The kids were asleep. Caleb sat in the living room with the TV off. He did not demand anything. He asked me to sit. I stayed standing because sitting felt like admitting he had a right to talk to me. He asked if I lied about where I was on Thursday. I said no. He asked why he found a receipt in the car for a coffee shop near the Arts District. I said I grabbed coffee on the way to work. He asked why the time was after clinic hours. I said the clock on receipts was often wrong. My own lies sounded thin, but I kept going. He asked if the video was sexual. I said it was acting, and he was trying to shame me. He asked why I did not tell him. I said because he overreacted and made everything stressful. I said he was the reason I could not be honest. I said he was unsafe for my dreams. I used that phrase on purpose. It made me feel like the good one. Caleb did not raise his voice. He said he was not trying to control me. He said he wanted respect in his marriage. I laughed and said respect followed results, and I had results. I said he was just mad because people might see I could do better than him. The moment the words left my mouth, I felt a flicker of shame. Then I covered it by acting bored. He stood up and said he was going to bed. He asked me to text him if I planned to stay out late again, because the kids needed a stable morning. I said he was using the kids to guilt me. He did not reply. In the kitchen, I noticed his mug was on the far side of the counter now, away from mine. It looked like a line drawn without words. I told myself he was being childish. Still, I stared at that space longer than I wanted to. As I walked past his office, I heard a soft beep from his phone, like a recording app starting or stopping. I froze for a second. Then I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself he would never do anything serious. He was too calm, too polite, too normal. I went to the bedroom and scrolled through the comments under Tessa's post. A new message sat in my inbox from someone I did not know. It said they had sent the clip to Caleb already and asked if he was okay. My stomach turned, but I did not let myself call it fear. I whispered to myself that I was still in control. I said Caleb would not do anything. I said he would sulk and then forgive me, because that was what husbands did when they loved you, and if he did not forgive me, then it would prove he never loved me right in the first place. On Sunday, I decided I needed an audience that would pick me over Caleb. In my head, that was the only way to fix the feeling in my stomach. If everyone agreed with me, then I could stop thinking. I told myself Caleb was trying to shame me, and I would not let him. My mother, Darlene Quinn, planned a family dinner at a busy restaurant with a long table. She said it would clear the air. I knew what she really meant. She wanted to show Caleb that he could not win in public. Caleb asked what the dinner was for. I said it was just family time. He asked if people would talk about the video. I said only if he made it weird. He asked if I could keep it private. I said he was the one obsessed with it. I watched his jaw tighten, then relax. He agreed to come anyway. The restaurant was loud, full of clinking forks and birthday songs. It felt safe to me because there were witnesses. When there were witnesses, I could shape the story. Bree sat on my left with her phone ready. Tessa came too, even though she was not family. I liked having her there. She made me feel bold. My father, Howard, sat quiet near the end of the table. Caleb's mother, Marjorie, came with Caleb. She wore a calm face that made me nervous. She looked like she already knew things. Darlene started the meal by talking about how hard mothers worked. She looked at me like I was a hero. Then she looked at Caleb like he was a problem. She asked Caleb if he was supporting my growth. Caleb said he supported me as a person, but he wanted respect in the marriage. Darlene asked what respect meant to him. He said honesty and boundaries. I laughed and said he talked like a manager, not a husband. Bree added that Caleb always acted strict. Tessa said some men feared attention on their wives. I let them talk. I nodded along like a judge hearing evidence. Caleb asked me, softly, to stop turning the table into a courtroom. I said he was the one who brought drama everywhere. Darlene asked what I meant. I said he had been cold for days, and he refused to celebrate my project. I called it a project on purpose. It sounded clean. Marjorie asked me what the project was. I said it was acting, and it was nothing. Marjorie asked why people were sending messages about it then. I felt heat climb my neck. I said people were jealous and weird online. Marjorie said jealousy did not explain lying. I told her she was being judgmental. Howard finally spoke and asked me to slow down. He said public talk did not fix private problems. I said he was taking Caleb's side. Howard said it was not sides, it was reality. That word hit me hard, so I pushed back fast. When the main dishes arrived, Darlene stood up with her glass. She said she wanted a toast. She said I was brave for stepping into something new. She said women should not be controlled by insecure men. She did not say Caleb's name, but she did not have to. People at nearby tables glanced over. I liked that. I liked the attention. I stood too. I lifted my glass and spoke louder than I needed. I said I was tired of being treated like a problem for wanting to feel alive. I said some people used family values as chains. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I looked straight at Caleb when I said it. I smiled like I was kind. Caleb did not shout. He did not slam the table. He stayed in his chair and looked down for a moment. Then he looked up and asked me, in a low voice, if I really wanted to do this in front of everyone. I said yes, because everyone should see how he acted. I said he tried to silence me at home. Miles sat at the kids' end of the table with crayons. He looked up and asked why Dad was sad. My stomach tightened, but I did not stop. I told Miles Dad was just tired. Caleb said Miles did not need to hear any of it. He asked me to step outside for a minute. I said no, because stepping outside felt like losing. After dinner, in the parking lot, Caleb buckled Ava into her car seat with gentle hands. He asked me to stop talking about him like he was a villain. I said he made himself look like one. He asked if I cared what the kids felt. I said he was using the kids to trap me. He said he was protecting them, not trapping me. Marjorie walked over and asked me to think about what I was teaching my children. I said she was trying to guilt me because she could not control her son. Marjorie said she did not control Caleb, and she did not need to. She said he was handling things like an adult. The way she said it made my skin prickle. On Monday, the school pickup line felt different. Parents usually smiled at me. That day, a few stared, then looked away. One mother leaned into her window and asked if I was the woman from the clip. I laughed and asked what clip. She said her cousin sent it to a group chat. I said people lied online. She said it looked real. I drove forward and kept my face calm. Caleb sat in the passenger seat because we agreed to do pickup together for the kids. He did not speak much. He watched the line, the cars, the little movements. When Miles got in, Caleb asked him about his day. Miles said someone at school said Mom was famous. Caleb asked what Miles thought that meant. Miles said he did not know, but he did not like it. I stared at the road and told myself kids repeated nonsense. Later, at the supermarket, I loaded groceries onto the belt. The cashier smiled too hard, like she knew something. My card declined once. It had never declined like that before. I tried again. It declined again. I felt everyone behind me breathing. Caleb stepped forward and paid with his card without a word. On the walk to the car, I asked Caleb what he did. He said he did nothing to my card. He said the account had new safeguards. I asked what that meant. He said it meant bills would still be paid, but there would be clearer tracking now. I heard the calm in his voice and felt like he was punishing me. I said he was trying to embarrass me. He said I embarrassed us when I turned private disrespect into public content. That night, I noticed a new key on Caleb's keyring. It was small and silver. He put it in his pocket like it mattered. I asked what it opened. He said it was for a drawer. I asked why he needed a locked drawer in our home. He said he needed privacy and order. Then I heard a soft click from the office, like a lock turning. In the kitchen, the printer tray held one fresh sheet of paper, blank except for a faint line at the top. It smelled like toner. On the counter, a sticky note sat near the pen cup. It said, "Bring forms." I laughed out loud and asked him if he was playing some game. Caleb said it was not a game. I went to Bree's place later to vent. Bree listened, but she did not look confident anymore. I asked why she was acting weird. She said people were asking her for the full video. I said she should tell them no. Bree said she thought it was just a story until she saw how fast it spread. I asked who had it. Bree hesitated. Then she admitted a cousin screen-recorded the private link and sent it around, just to show someone. She said she tried to stop it, but it was already done. I felt my throat go dry, and for the first time, I could not find a clean excuse fast enough. On Tuesday, the clinic did not feel like my stage anymore. It felt like a room with eyes. I kept smiling, but my cheeks hurt. 2 patients whispered near the water cooler. One of them looked at me, then looked away fast. I told myself they were not important. Still, my hands shook when I typed. Renee Park, my supervisor, sent a message and asked me to come to the HR room after lunch. She did not use emojis. She did not add a friendly line. That was how I knew it was real. In the HR room, the air felt dry. Renee asked if there was something online connected to me that could bring trouble to the clinic. I said no, and then I corrected myself and said there was a short acting clip, but it was harmless. Renee asked why patients were mentioning it. I said people were dramatic and bored. Renee asked if I understood that our clinic needed trust. I said I did, and I said it was unfair that women got judged for being confident. Renee said this was not about confidence, it was about public behavior. She asked me to keep my private life away from the clinic and to stop filming anything that could attach to our name. I said I understood, but inside I felt attacked. After that meeting, I sat at my desk and stared at my phone. I wanted to post something strong. I wanted to tell everyone Caleb was the problem, but I also felt a new fear. If I posted, it might hit my job. I hated that. I told myself it was another way Caleb controlled me, even though he did not work at my clinic. On my break, I called Noah. He did not answer. I called again later. He sent a short message and said he was busy with brand stuff. He wrote that the clip was getting attention and he needed to be careful. I asked if he could tell people to stop sharing it. He replied that the internet did what it wanted. He said I should stay calm. It sounded like distance. It sounded like he wanted me when I was fun, not when I was messy. That afternoon, Caleb texted me and asked if I could meet at the playground after work so the kids could run. I agreed because I wanted to look like a normal family in public. I also wanted to watch him. I wanted to see if he was still hurting because that made me feel like I mattered. At the playground, the wind was cold and the sky looked flat. Caleb pushed Ava on the swing with slow, steady hands. Miles ran to the climbing frame and yelled for Dad to watch. Caleb watched. He smiled once. It was small, but it was real. I sat on a bench and tried to act relaxed. I told Caleb he looked calm for someone who was so upset. He asked if we could talk without the kids hearing. I said there was nothing to talk about because it was acting and he needed to grow up. He said it was not acting when it became lies. He said it was not growth when it made the home unsafe for trust. I said he used big words to hide small feelings. He asked me to stop twisting it. I said he started it by judging me. Miles ran over and asked if we could get ice cream after. Caleb said yes. Miles asked if Mum was coming too. I said yes, of course, like it was obvious. Caleb looked at me for a second, then looked away. He asked me, softly, to please stop making this public. I said I had not made it public. I said other people did. He said I still fed it. He said my friends posted, and I did not stop them. I said I could not control other adults. He said I could control myself. On the drive home, Caleb kept the kids talking about school and cartoons. He did not talk to me much. It felt like he was putting me outside the family while still keeping the family together. That made me angry, because I wanted him to either forgive me or fight me. I did not want this quiet line. At home, I tried to start a normal dinner conversation. Caleb answered only what he had to. After the kids ate, he asked them to brush teeth. He cleaned the plates without noise. Then, he walked to his office and closed the door. I followed and asked what he was doing. He opened the door halfway and said he was organizing household things. I asked why he suddenly needed organization. He said he should have done it earlier. I asked if he was planning something against me. He said he was planning stability for the kids. I noticed his desk was cleaner than usual. A neat row of folders sat in a line. One was labeled household. One was labeled bank. I saw a small USB on the corner with a date written on tape. I laughed and asked if he was playing detective. He said he was not playing. That night, I woke up and heard a low hum. It was the shredder. It was not loud, but it was steady. The air smelled like toner again, like warm paper. I lay there and told myself it was nothing. Still, I got up and walked to the hallway. The office door was closed. I put my hand on the handle, and it did not move. Locked. My face got hot. I knocked and asked why it was locked. Caleb opened it a crack and asked what I needed. I said I needed my own house. He said I had the whole house, and he needed one room for private work. I asked what kind of work needed a lock. He said personal work. In the morning, I saw a phone alarm on my own screen that I did not remember setting. It said paper drop. My heart jumped like it knew something my mind did not want to know. I told myself it was from my old reminders at the clinic. I told myself it meant nothing. At the clinic that day, a coworker asked if I was okay. I said yes and asked why. She said people were talking. I said people always talked. I said women could not do anything without being judged. I made my voice firm. Inside, I felt thin. After work, I tried again with Noah. He answered with one line and said he could not get involved in my marriage. He said he thought I understood the risks. I wanted to scream, but I did not. I told him he pushed me. He replied that I made my own choices. That sentence landed like a slap, even though it was true. At home, I tried to pull Caleb into a fight. I said he was punishing me. I said he was freezing me out. I said he was breaking the family to make a point. Caleb asked me to stop shouting. I said I was not shouting. He said the kids were listening. I said the kids were already hurt because he acted cold. Caleb looked at me then, not angry, not loud, just firm. He asked if I could admit I lied. I said I lied because he made honesty unsafe. I said he turned everything into an interrogation. He said he asked simple questions, and I gave false answers. I said he should have trusted me anyway. He took a slow breath and told me he was done arguing feelings in circles. He said he would do this the right way. I asked what that meant. He said he would handle it properly. The next morning, Caleb texted me a simple address and a time. He said we needed to talk in a neutral place. He said it was about structure for the kids. I told myself he finally realized he went too far. I told myself he wanted me to beg so he could feel strong. I got there early because I wanted to control the first impression. It was an office tower lobby with bright floors and security desks. People moved fast with coffee cups and badges. I saw two parents from the school near the elevators, and my stomach tightened. I told myself it was fine. I told myself I had nothing to hide. Caleb walked in a few minutes later. He did not look messy. He looked like he was going to work. His shirt was pressed. His hair was neat. He held a small folder like it weighed nothing. He asked if I slept. I said yes. He asked if I wanted water. I said no and asked why we were here. He said this place was public and calm. I said he picked it so he could act like the good guy. He did not answer that. A man in a plain jacket stepped toward us. He was not security. He was not a friend. He looked direct, like he did this job often. He asked if I was Eustacia Pryor. I said yes, and I frowned like he was rude. He said he had legal documents to deliver to me. He said it was official service. My face went hot. I looked at Caleb and waited for him to deny it. Caleb did not deny it. I asked Caleb what this was. I said he was being dramatic. Caleb said he was doing it properly, like he told me. I said this was a stunt. Caleb said it was a process. The man held out a packet. I did not want to take it, so he placed it against my hand until I had no choice. He said I had been served. He said the date and time out loud. People nearby slowed down. I felt their eyes. I wanted to shout that this was unfair, but my throat felt tight. I flipped the top page and saw my name and Caleb's name. I saw words like petition and temporary orders. My brain tried to turn it into a blur, but one line stayed sharp. It said certain parts were effective immediately. I asked Caleb what immediately meant. He said it meant the schedule and rules started today. He said it meant the kids would have a stable plan starting now, not later. I told myself he was using them like tools. Then I remembered I used them too, just with softer words. I said he could not do this without talking to me first. Caleb said he tried talking, and I turned it into public jokes. He said I lied, and he stopped trusting my promises. He said he was not going to fight me in circles anymore. I looked down and scanned again. I saw a section about money and accounts. I saw a section about who stayed where and how exchanges would work. I saw a section about contact rules. One line made my stomach drop. It said we could not post about each other or the children in a harmful way during the process. I said that was controlling. I said he was trying to silence me. Caleb said it was to protect the kids and stop public damage. He said I had already shown I would make private life into content. I opened my mouth to argue, but no clean excuse formed. I asked where he got the right to do this. He said he used the legal system, not anger. He said he gathered facts and dates, and he kept it lawful. I asked what facts. He said he documented the timeline of my lies, the link, the reposts, and the messages sent to him. He said he kept screenshots, upload times, and receipts. He said he also documented the changes in the kids' routine and the way public talk reached the school line. I tried to laugh. I said he must have been spying on me. Caleb said he did not need to spy. He said I posted and my circle posted. He said people sent him things without him asking. He said he saved what arrived and wrote down what happened. He said that was not spying. He said that was protecting himself and the children. One of the school parents nearby stared at the packet in my hands, then looked at my face. I knew what they were thinking. They were thinking I was not a victim of a jealous man. They were thinking I was a grown woman who made a mess and got a real response. I said Noah pushed me. I said I was manipulated. Caleb said I could say that to whoever needed to hear it, but it did not change that I chose to lie to him and shame him publicly. He said he was not going to debate my feelings in a lobby. He said the process would handle it now. I asked if he planned to take the kids from me. Caleb said no. He said he planned to follow the temporary schedule and keep them steady. He said he wanted them to have both parents, but he wanted peace and rules. He said he would not talk to me about the marriage outside of kid logistics. He said, if I needed to communicate, I should keep it simple and focused. I felt like the ground moved under my shoes. For months, I told myself Caleb would shout, beg, or break. I told myself I could always pull him back with tears or charm. Now he stood there calm, and I could not pull him anywhere. I looked down again at the words, effective immediately. I realized today meant I could not run home. and rewrite the story first. I could not post a crying video and turn him into the villain. The paper in my hands had already spoken in a way my friends could not drown out. Caleb nodded once, like this was a meeting on a calendar. He asked if I understood where to send questions and what time the first exchange would be. I did not answer. My mouth would not work right. The man who served me stepped back and left. The lobby sounds returned like nothing happened. Caleb turned toward the door, steady and lawful, while I stood there holding the packet that said my choices had limits now, starting today.